I just want everyone to understand that the poetry that I wrote walking down that path was a trying time in my life. And a lot of times we go through things. And we take those walks, and you need someone to take the walk down that path with you for them to understand the rough time that you went through. You don't want no one to judge you from what you went through. You don't want no one to look at you different from where you've been. You don't want them to see the hurt. You don't want nobody to see you crying. You don't want nobody to see your pain. But this is when you have to ask someone to walk that journey with you, because it's hard. You know, I needed some. Hello, everybody. How are you doing today? I want to thank everyone for tuning in to Let Loose and Be Free. This is episode number 2, and we are in the building. How are you doing, Miss Quenisha?
I'm trying. Let's just say that.
Definitely understand. It's always one day at a time, right?
Right. Absolutely.
So can you tell them, well, I already told them your name, but can you tell them who you are and where you're from?
Okay. So for those who don't know me, my name is Quanisha Swiggett. I'm from the city of Chester. I'm in kidney failure. I think some of you seen me on Queen's show talking about my situation that I am in kidney failure. I'm battling that. And also I do have a history of depression that I am also battling as well. So, you know, I'm not perfect. Every day is a trying day. I'm just here. Let's just put it, if we could just sum it up in that particular way, I am here. And I keep going forward because that's all I know how to do. So, yeah, that's about it.
Yeah, the computer wanted to kick me off. It's one of those days. But can you tell them, like, what was your first encounter of going through domestic violence?
Oh gosh. So I never been in a domestic violence relationship ever. Never in my life have I been into one until 7 years prior. Of course, I dated this guy, you know, like in the beginning, it's always the fairy tale. I call it the character act.
Right.
Because, you know, the mask isn't off. And everything was great. Like, it was definitely wonderful. I think he charmed me because, you know, he was very nice to me. And, you know, he would do like the little small things that matter, like that make you smile, blush, you know, and that what made me like him even more and wanted to get to know him. And even then I would watch how he was such a hard worker. Like, he didn't have a vehicle, but he will find his way to get where he needs to get to. And I was impressed by those, you know, those type of things. So eventually we got into a relationship and those type of things. So eventually we got into a relationship and, you know, everything was good. I would go to work. He would go to work. We both decided to go back to school. So we went to school. So it was like a routine. Like we We had goals. We had things that we were trying to get to do, like build, like a couple should want to do.
Right.
And then it was like a 360, like overnight, honestly, a 360 overnight. So what happened was like, um, he stopped going to school, and I asked him why. No, school, it's not for me right now, and I can't concentrate. I get it, understand. So he picked up more hours at work, but then he did, stuff that he wasn't supposed to do that caused him to lose his job. Now, when guys lose their job and stuff, they go into this depressed mode, like the world is getting ready to end. So he did get depressed or whatnot, but instead of challenging um, that depression of saying like, all right, let me just get up and go look for another job, or let me do this, he decided to hang out with people that weren't good for him, as what he would
Okay.
call his friends. Now, me personally, I kept going to school, and I was working. Uh, I had two vehicles at one particular time. So I'm driving one car, and if you're my boyfriend, then I don't have a problem you driving the other car. So he had the other car, and he wound up doing a lick in my car. Now, a lick is slang for a robbery. I gotta tell people because
Yeah.
some people don't know what a lick is, but that's what it is. It's slang for a robbery. So as he was doing that, I didn't find out about it until like weeks later. And I brought it to his attention, and I said, I could have been driving that car in that area, and they thought it was you, and shot the car up, and I don't know what the hell is going on. So with him, he tends to not take constructive criticism. He think that everybody is quote unquote jumping on him. So we got into an argument with that. I told him, give me my keys. I took my keys back from him. So I personally didn't care how he got around after that. I just knew that that car wasn't going to move. So um, eventually it started from just verbal abuse to mental abuse to physical abuse. So one day we got into an argument, and out of nowhere he slapped me.
Mm.
And like, I stood there for a second because in my head I had to register all that. What did just
Yeah.
happen? Like, because I never been in a relationship like that. First of all, I never dated someone that was younger than me. Everybody that I have dated was older, like 10 years my senior. So
Mm-hmm.
I never been in those type of things, like where violence was something. So I stood there and I was froze for a whole second, and then I swung back. I really did, because like, mama ain't raised no punk, but I don't like no one putting their hands on me. Um, of course, he told me it'll never happen again. He was upset. It'll never happen again, but it got worse. It definitely got worse. So one day I was at work, and the girl said, "Why don't we just go out, get some drinks after work?"
Mm-hmm.
Normally, I don't go out after work. I normally come home, shower, and relax. But I said, all right, why not? Let's go out. So we go to this club or whatnot. I come, I come home. I get dressed, and I do meet them at the club. So we having drinks, and at the club the music is loud, And you know you got people that's trying to talk to you at the club.
Yeah.
Well, apparently this was an African club that I went to. Um, I that one of the guys, he tried to say something to me, and I leaned over to hear what he was getting ready to say. But the whole time I didn't even know he was there. He was just staring at me. Now I didn't exchange numbers with this guy. I didn't do anything. I was just trying to hear what he had to say. So he looked at me, was staring at me. Then when I made eye contact with him, he came over there and like dragged me out, saying, "You effing American whore, you effing American whore. I'm gonna F you up, you American whore." Like, so now I'm like, all right, let me get away because this is gonna escalate to something else. I goes to my car. Before I can lock the doors on my car, he hops in the passenger seat.
Wow.
I drives off. So I got my hands on the wheel of the car. And as I'm driving the car, he says something. I respond back, but before I could get my full sentence out, he punched me in the mouth area,
Mm-hmm.
and everything started gushing. Like my whole shirt was full of blood. My two front teeth right here, they were pushed up to where my nose is at.
Wow.
So now I'm like, I lost a lot of blood, and I'm like very delusional now driving. But I did manage to see a police officer on at the corner. And I knew he was watching to see what this car was gonna do. So I made an illegal turn for him to pull me over. The cop pulled me over, and he seen that I was full of blood. He automatically arrested him. But here's where everybody said, "I can't believe you did that." Um when the cops asked me, "Did he do this to you?" I said, "No, he did not. I got into a fight at the club, a gang related fight, and he's just showing me where the hospital is at." So they wind up releasing him. Yeah, I know. Mm-hmm. They released them. We get to the nearest hospital, which was, I believe, what hospital was that? I think it was Mercy Fitzgerald Hospital, and they couldn't do anything for me there, but give me painkillers and stabilize me and send me off to Penn. Now, before I got there, was a lady there, and she said, "What happened?" And of course, I spin the same story to her, and she
Mm-hmm.
called me a liar and said, "No, I know a man punch. When I see that, that's a man punch. You got hit. Who did it? Is it him out there?" I wouldn't tell her. So we get to the University of Penn. There, the oral surgeon was there, and they told he wanted to sit in the room with me, but they told him that he had to leave because they were getting ready to do a pep smear on me or
Mm-hmm.
whatnot. And by him not being my husband, he cannot sit in the room and watch it. But that was game to for them to find out if he did that. I told them no, he didn't. I got into a fight, a gang related fight, and this is what happened. Of course, the doctors and stuff didn't believe me. Um, so they wind up, putting my teeth back in place and wiring my whole mouth shut.
Mm.
Now, my face was swollen because of the anesthetics that they gave me, and I couldn't really eat like solid food, like corn on the cob or something. None of that I could eat. Only soft food like applesauce, mashed potatoes, or something like that. So I was still doped up off the medicine, and he had to drive me home. He decided to lay in the bed next to me and as if nothing ever happened. He did not want me to go to work because of my friends and stuff at work would have seen my mouth and they would have automatically known that it was him.
Mhm.
But yeah, so I hid from my family. I hid from my friends. Um, I was ashamed, like, because here it is that my friends seen the type of guy he was and I didn't. And they were telling me, like, they were actually trying to defend me and I would tell them back off. Um and that caused, like, problems between us. So after that fact or whatnot, I really suffered from depression really, really, really bad. Um, it got worse. I didn't leave him. It just got even worse. Like, he would come in like late morning and like house would be destroyed. I'm working two jobs, going to school. Um, he didn't want to do anything with his life at all. His mother came from Africa, and you would think that like his mother could straighten him out. However, that wasn't the case either. Like, he left his mother here in the house, so on my days off, it would be me chauffeuring his mom around to show her different places or whatnot. Um, she he diddle daddle in drugs. And when I say that, I'm not just talking about marijuana. He would pop Percocet. He would pop uh, Zanies. I think that's what they call them.
Xanax.
Yeah, he would pop that, and when he popped that, he became violent or whatnot. He destroyed my house. Broke the mirrors in my house, took like my appliances that I worked hard for and paying. He took all that out the house. He threw a box of rice at me. Like, I had bought when the new PlayStation 4s came out, I had purchased that because you can work out on the PlayStation, play games or whatever the case
Mhm.
may be. And I happened to come in one day and that was gone. He sold it
Wow.
to whoever or whatnot. Oh gosh, I was just so super stressed that I lost so much weight. My hair started to fall out. And I was at a point that I didn't know like what to do. I wanted him out of my life, but you know, I he had this whole plan that he wasn't going anywhere in a sense. So eventually his mother left, I think that October, to go back home, and I told them that when she leaves, you gotta go. He put a knife up to my neck because I wouldn't give him sex.
Mm.
Um he It was one time I had a final exam for school and I didn't get no rest because he wanted to sit up and argue all night. I ran into my bathroom and he would take like he had a lighter and he would take like pieces of paper and then he would fling it at the top of the door because he knew I was sitting at the bottom of behind the door for it to hit me. When I told him that I got school, I have to get up in the morning, he would say, fuck you and at school. He would say, you think you better because you going to school, you think this, you think that. And I at that particular time I knew now that it was jealousy, like with him. Like he was jealous because I was still going on and he was sitting up here trying to find ways to destroy me and I wouldn't let him.
Right.
Eventually he got out. But even after he got out, the problems didn't stop from there. A week after he left, my house got robbed. Now, yeah, oh yeah, my house
Wow.
got robbed. I had went out. to a family get together, and then I came in the house and the door was cracked open. Now I know I didn't leave my door open, so I opened it up just a little bit. When I seen that the house was in shambles, I bothered not to go in there. I just stood outside and called the police because I didn't know who was still in the house. I wasn't going to
Right.
take that chance of going in. So when the police got here, they, searched the house, and then they said that this is not no random burglary. He said this is somebody that know your whereabouts, know how you move, that broke into your house. And which made sense because at that time I had a 32-inch flat screen TV sitting on the floor. It was broke. So I replaced that TV with another one, and they left that TV there. So that tells me that whoever it was knew the house, knew what was valuable and what was not valuable, because any random burglar is going to take everything, and they'll figure it out when they get to wherever they're going to. So
Right.
he said he never had no one come to the house, but I said to him, that doesn't make sense, because you leave a week and then the next week I get robbed. Like, so yeah, it just didn't stop there. He was, I guess it was his mission to make me feel terrible.
Yeah.
And I battled depression so much, like at the point that I'm afraid to get into another relationship. I don't even think I'm ready for one.
Now, how long has it been since you've been in a relationship since that domestic violence situation?
Well, I have a friend, and I say a friend, not no
Hmm.
steady relationship. Like,
Right.
I don't look at it in that way, because on
Hmm.
my I it was times that I have like backflashes, like,
Your triggers.
yeah, absolutely. And I know that I gotta heal myself first before I can go on to date somebody else. That's not
Right.
fair to them, to trying to clean up a mess that they haven't made.
Correct.
But he took a lot from me. My credit
Hmm.
went downhill because he would take my credit cards and purchase stuff off of it. Like, literally, my credit cards would be in my wallet, but I guess he would take the numbers off my credit card
And
and
then use
order
them.
stuff. Right, right. And I wouldn't know nothing about it. I had a vehicle, and um I would go to work because, like, I would ask him, like, "Here's the money. Can you take it to pay the car note?" Because I had to go to work, right? And
Right.
here it is that I'm thinking that he's paying the car note, and the whole time he didn't. So one morning I gets up to, get ready for my day, and my car is now repossessed. And they told
Wow.
me that you haven't made payments in 3 months. Now I'm on the phone telling them, "Oh, I know you lying. I paid." And it said, "Man, we don't have a payment from you."
Right.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
No, you're fine.
They said, "We don't have a payment from you." So he would just like take my
Take the
money and
money.
do whatever he want. Yeah. I try to help him get his green card and stuff like that. At that particular time, I really didn't know too much about like green cards, and I have friends that have to go through that. But he would tell me that it's this price, and my friends was like, "No, it's only this price to get your green card." So I'm out of $1,000 for a green card that I trust him that he's telling me the truth, but he never
Right.
got it. Never. So
That's crazy.
eventually, like, it was over. I started to do more for myself, build myself up. But even then, like, I held on to so much anger, and I really wanted to, like, if he was in my presence, I'd probably go to jail right now. Like, because out of all my relationships that I've been in, like, this had to be one of the worst relationships I've been in.
Now, question, and I know you said you probably would go to jail. Did you ever forgive him?
Um, you talk about now, or
Yeah. Now
do I forgive me?
you got to forgive him too.
Yeah, well, that's what people say. They say that
You have
if
to.
you don't forgive him, he still holds the power.
He does.
Yeah,
Unfortunately, if you don't, he does. Because like the anger and the frustration and everything you carry around, he's still attached. You have to detach. And the first step to detaching is forgiveness.
right. And that's like easy said than done.
Absolutely it is. It's a lot of work. Please believe.
Because here's the thing, and I was so angry with God and even the universe, because I said to myself, y'all seen I haven't done nothing wrong. Like, I haven't done anything. He gets to go on and live his best life. Yet I'm here battling kidney failure. I'm here battling depression. I'm here battling juvenile diabetes. I'm battling all this stuff by myself. I had to fix my credit back
Mm-hmm.
because he destroyed it. But he get to go on and live his best life. How is that even fair? How?
Well, not necessarily he's living his best life because God will take care of it, but your job is to take care of you and make sure that you're happy.
Yeah. Um, you know what? I think happiness is far fetched for me right now.
Understandable.
I just say that I take it one day at a time,
And that's all you can do.
because growing up, I worked very hard. I mean, I was taught at a young age of hard work. Hard work will pay off. Hard work would do this. But then I always come involved with narcissistic type people.
Right?
And when I say narcissist people, I'm not just talking about intimate relationships. I'm talking about family as well. You know,
Absolutely.
at this particular time, I'm the one that battles kidney failure. I'm the one that's sick right now. You would think that your family would be the one that say, don't do nothing now. Focus on getting better. We got this. And that's not the case. I'm called
That's
on for everything. I am called on for everything.
so that's when you
And
gotta learn the word no.
yeah, and not only that, but now on my father's side of the family, now I normally wouldn't even talk about this. I bet I just bottle it up and keep it with me. But at this particular time, I think it needs to be shared. I have I my on my father's side of the family, here I am in my 30s now, and they're claiming that I'm not their kid. Now imagine hearing your father say those type of words to you. A man that you think that is your father had multiple opportunities to help with this, and now the whole family on their side saying that because I don't look like him that I can't possibly be his. So that is just it triggers me, but it also has an effect on my relationships, intimate relationships as well. Like,
Absolutely.
um, so they always say that your father is the first one that show
Breaks your
you
heart.
what true love is. I never,
Supposed to.
yeah, supposed to, but I never got that. I never.
Neither did I.
I
Neither did
Yeah,
I.
I literally want here to tell you. I'm here telling you. I hear my whole family, and at this particular time, I know that it sounds selfish, but I only want to worry about me now. I don't want to worry about nobody else that don't
That's
want to
not
worry about
selfish
me.
because
I
you
will never.
it's not selfish because you're going through a traumatic thing right now. So who else should you worry about besides yourself at this moment?
Oh well. I would never turn the person, my character, who I am. I'm very generous. I
Mhm.
have empathy for people. If I can reach out my hand and help you, I take my shirt off and give it to you if you need it more. But at the particular time, I see that you got people, I have people that surround me that take. I'm going to take whatever I can get. And when you don't have no more to give, they leave you.
Yeah. And
And
that's when you have to know whose your circle is that you truly need to have around you. And
right,
you have to learn your boundaries and learn that all comes with your, your box that you get when you go through these things as well. And that all relates to relationships too. Not like you said, not necessarily saying an intimate relationship. That comes to family, friends, and everybody else.
right. Yeah. So, like this week has just been super hard, like very, very hard. Because I don't think that people really see what they're doing. And you can't make somebody see something that they don't want to see or really can't see. But I isolated myself from everybody. Like I didn't want to be around people,
Hmm.
and I needed that me time to, you know, get myself together in a sense. Like,
And
um,
that's your first step. That's your first step when it's coming to you getting yourself together, period. Even as far as finding your comfort and your peace. And that's getting you together first. Everybody wants you to do, give. And that's also a certain type of abuse too, because they want you to do for them, but they don't want to do for you. And then you feel some sort of way. So that's still some type of a different type of abuse at the same time. It's just by your family. They abuse your
right,
niceness, they abuse your kindness, they abuse your givingness. And at the same time, you have to find who is truly for you and not against you and not there to use you. And they know that you're willing to do stuff. So that's why they ask. And like you said, you are here to take care of you at this moment. You have several things that's going on with you. You can't take care of you if you're stressing about everything that everybody else wants.
yeah. And that's another thing. I didn't have a TIA from my sugars being out of control or my blood pressures being out of control. It came from stress. That's what it came
Absolutely.
from. And even if I was to die today or tomorrow, they would go on with their life, and I would be under the ground somewhere. Like, and I'm at the point of my life, like at this particular time, I only want is what's best for me. Like me personally, one day I want a family. I want to create
Mhm.
my own family. But how can I do that if I'm worried about what my family is doing, like, or worrying about people that really shouldn't matter at this particular time? Like those things are something that to me is more important. Success is important. I always say that. But I also think family is important too. But what
Absolutely.
but what do you do when family doesn't support you?
That's when not all blood family is your family. You have to find a
Right,
family that's a part of what you need them to be a part of, because
right.
every blood family is not necessarily family. You understand? Sometimes when you create a family, it's not necessarily your bloodline.
Hmm.
You just, and not, today, tomorrow, and not gonna be the. But you gotta realize the people that show up for you are the people that's truly there for you. And I know it's hard, and at this moment you don't see, and you probably know a couple of people that are there for you, and you got to just deal with a couple of people that you know that's truly there for you. And as you continue, God will show you who is there truly for you. This is a term and a storm that you're dealing with at this moment, but you got to be able to see through that tunnel that's ahead of you. And I know it's stressful. I know it feels like 20 pounds of weight on you on top of everything else you're doing. But like I said, you have to find your peace Whatever is peaceful for you and keep you stable, not stressed, not getting a stroke, not getting you sick, whatever keeping you healthy, that's what you need to do for self. And it's not that you're being selfish. You know what I'm saying? You have to be selfless, which is basically taking care of you first. You have too many elements that are going on with you for you to be concerned about any family issues, or anything else. Your concern is yourself. And if it takes you walking that by yourself, truly you're not by yourself, because you have God with you and you have a couple of people that's with you. Because I done told you, I'm a team number one. I'll be there. Whatever I can do from here, I'm for it. So you have the support from me and a couple of other people. You got to deal with who's supporting you and who's there for you. You can't stress about who's not there for you, because then that'll also stress what's going on, regardless of the fact. You got to take care of you first. First you, then you worry about everything else once your health is back together. Evan, they can't understand that. It is what it is. You have to be true to who you are. And if it ain't good for you, let it go. If it's meant for them to be around, they'll figure it out and come back in full circle. But you can't stress on it. Just like the situation with your father. You can't stress about it. Because at the same time, that's another stress level to you in your sickness. That's another way of putting turmoil on your situation. If they decide they want to do all that now while you're going through traumatizing time, they not concerned about how you feel. They not concerned about how you feel doing. They ain't concerned about your sickness. Let it be. If that's how they feel, that's what it is. At the end of the day, you know who you are, or you trying to figure out who you are, and you're understanding your trials and your path. Meditate, get one with yourself, give yourself some affirmations, stay positive. And I know it's hard. It's easier said than done. But if you take the steps and start repeating it every day, it makes it a whole lot easier. The more you do positivity inside of you, the more easy it'll be. But allowing the negativity to cloud everything else makes it more difficult. So instead of eating the negativity, let it go. Don't allow it to manifest inside of you, because that'll be why your day, like you could, sometimes what we allow in our minds all day long is what makes us feel the way we feel all day long. Because when I wake up and feel that my day is about to be a whole mess, I find me a song that's going to motivate me and put me in a whole nother mindset. Why? Because I need to be empowered.
I do that. I do look for music that empowers me, but it could be like I'll be riding down in the car and then I just like blank out, in a sense, like I'm thinking about something heavy, or someone said something to me that triggered something that I'm already dealing with. These things happen, like um I also was the type of person that looked at people and tried to see the good in people. But in the flip side, it was hurting me just to see the good in them. And I learned from my mistakes. I don't do it anymore. But this whole past week has been up and down for me. Like, um, and I'm at a point that I just want to run away. Like, if you get what I'm saying, like, I don't want to be in this position right now. Like,
I get
I
it.
wanted to easily pack up some stuff and just hit the road on a road trip or something, and just, have that time for myself. No one calls me looking for me. I'm all right. Let me just be by myself. Um, but then again, I have to realize that that's something you can't do at this particular moment,
Right.
because you have to be on call for doctors calling you. You got to do this. So the only thing that keeps me stable here is the fact is that I am in kidney failure and I have to do what they tell me to do,
Right.
or else I go backwards.
Right. And that's not where we're trying to go. We're trying to go forward. We're trying
Right.
to continue on the path. We're trying to get the kidney transplant. We're trying to get everything under control. So I definitely understand.
Right.
Did you ever try to create your house into a space that it can take you to another place, but you didn't leave your place?
No, I never did anything like that.
Just give it a different vibe. Like, say if you wanted to go camping, make you a tent in the living room, make you some s'mores, just ideas to just change your mindset of where you actually are.
Mhm.
You know, I've been where you at, to where you just, like you said, you just want to leave, you just want to go. You don't want to be in that house. You want to go, but there's reasons why you have to stay. And that's where I found myself creating different ideas in my house to then give it a different appearance to have like I'm somewhere else.
Mhm.
So
I'll look into it.
it'll get better. One question for you: if you had to tell somebody um about 3 signs of red flags of domestic violence, what would it be?
Ooh. Okay. So 3 signs of domestic violence. First sign is never listen to a person saying they won't do it again. It's already embedded in their DNA. It will happen again or whatnot. Um, Watch the tone of them when you ask a question. If they can't hold a normal conversation, that it always turn into an argument, or they feel as though that you are picking on them or whatnot. That's another sign. So I would probably say categorize that as their attitude towards things or whatnot. And please be mindful of um, narcissistic behavior. That's another sign. Uh, a person that don't care about your feelings, how you feel about certain things. It's always about them. They're just pure selfish. Um, and they try to manipulate you. That's another thing with narcissist people. They're very good manipulators. They make you believe that you the one is the problem,
Hmm.
really the problem.
Correct.
So attitude, narcissist behaviors, manipulation, and the famous words that every abuser use.
I'll never do
It'll
it
never.
again.
I'll never do it again.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that is definitely the favorite word. I tell you,
yeah. I
they'll tell
was
you that.
baby. I was a baby. I don't know what I was thinking. I'm so sorry. It
Yeah,
happened again. It will happen again. Trust me.
absolutely.
So don't believe it. Please don't. I don't. I will. I tell you this. I hear a lot of women on here, and keep in mind that there are men out here that get abused as well.
Right.
But I hear a lot of people that state that um oh, this will never happen again. I don't know what I was thinking, but let me tell you something. If you care for somebody, it should have never happened. You don't have the right to put your hands on no one at
Right.
all. It should have
Absolutely.
never happened. So get out while you can. And there will be women, oh, I can't understand why she stayed and
Hmm.
all this happening. Oh, she's stupid. I don't live your life. I don't know what happens in the walls of your home. I don't know what you feel. Something that I can see is something that you probably can't see right now. So if you are a good friend to a person that is in an abusive relationship, whether they man or woman, be a support system. Do not down them. They already getting put down by who they with now. They need somebody that's going to elevate them and build them up. Please. That's all I ask.
Absolutely. As always, they definitely need to support their friends, and they don't need to judge them, even if they're not ready to leave. Like you said, be that support, because sometimes they might can't leave at that moment, or they don't know how to. So,
Mm-hmm.
at that moment, they're trying to figure it out maybe. And, honestly, if they came to tell you, That was a big step right there,
Right.
because it takes a huge step to actually admit that you're getting abused, to actually acknowledge what's truly going on with you. And so many times, a lot of people, when someone comes and tell them, they're ready to judge them. Oh my God, why are you still there? Why are you with this person? If that was me, this is what would happen. But truly, till you're in that situation, you truly don't know what would have happened if it was you.
No, you don't. You really don't. And I tell a lot of people that say those things. Like, I was in an abusive relationship. My self esteem was low, everything. And you think it's like, oh, superwoman, you can walk out of something and be okay. I had to go through counseling after I got out of that. Like,
Me
so
too.
I had my own family telling me that I was stupid for staying with them, but
Right.
yet they don't know what happens in between these walls. They only can
Right.
know what I tell them or what they hear, like, you
Yeah.
know. So instead
Yeah.
of encouraging me, I was also getting beat down by them. Like,
Yeah.
although maybe they meant well, but that wasn't the way of going by it.
Yeah.
Like, you just don't know. And especially you don't know, especially when they have kids involved now. And the blessing
Mhm.
that I had, I didn't have no children by him. But when you have children, you still got to deal with this person because they are the father of your child or the mother of your child or however it goes. So they still have to find ways to deal with it. So all I ask is be a support system. Don't kick a person. They already down. Build them up and be that encouraging factor for them because they definitely gonna need it.
Yeah, absolutely. So if you had one quote to leave the people till next Wednesday when I do the show again, what would it be for you to give to the people, to anybody that's out there that might be going through it, anybody that went through it, anybody that might see somebody that's going through it? What's a quote for them that they could hold on to give them some positive vibes?
My positive vibe would be support, support, support. Support your friends. Be that factor for them. We are stronger in numbers. Support. Just support them. Don't beat them down, please. Like, there's power in strength and there's power in numbers as well. So that's basically all I can really tell you.
Absolutely. Before we get out of here today, can you tell them about your kidney foundation and how to find it as well?
Okay, so I do have like a kidney. It's called Fight for Nisha Kidney Foundation. My name is Quanisha Swiggett. It is posted on the screen right now. You can chat with me through my Facebook, but also I do have a blog, also called Fight for Nisha, where you can chat with me through there as well. We have T-shirts, we have bracelets, and I can give you the prices of the bracelets right now. They're selling. My T-shirts are 25. They can be mailed to you if you don't live in the state where I live at. But all the monies and proceeds go to my kidney foundation. And it is used for a beautiful cause. So your money is not being used for no nonsense. It is definitely going to the right cause.
Absolutely, absolutely. I thank everybody for tuning in to Let Loose and Be Free tonight. I will be back
Definitely.
on Wednesday once again with more stories of that survival story. And this is what Let Loose and Be Free is, to be able to tell your story, be free about it, and to now move on to the next step. Not just being a survivor, to begin living, to begin being happy, to begin being
Right.
free and being unapologetically free and just live and just let loose. As you can see in my picture, I'm flying. So let's fly, let's let loose, and let's be free. I will see y'all next week on Wednesday at 7 and also on Friday. So please tune in. Please share, subscribe, and tell your friends. Come on and join the conversation. And I wish y'all a grand old night. We thank
Bye.
you.
I just want everyone to understand that the poetry that
Oh, that was not supposed to.
Hi, I just want everyone to understand that the poetry that I wrote walking down that path was a trying time in my life. And a lot of times we go through things. And we take those walks, and you need someone to take the walk down that path with you for them to understand the rough time that you went through. You don't want no one to judge you from what you went through. You don't want no one to look at you different from where you've been. You don't want them to see the hurt. You don't want nobody to see you crying. You don't want nobody to see your pain. But this is when you have to ask someone to walk that journey with you because it's hard.